Hey guys, it's Tobi the Great. I'm back with another video. And in this one, we're going to talk about the 3 easiest ways to become a software engineer. And when I say easy, this is based on 2 things. 1, how easy it is to acquire the skills to be a software engineer. And 2, how easy it is to actually get the job once you have the skills necessary. But of course, what's easy for one person may not be as easy for the next, so this is just my opinion. Before we go right into the list, I want to first talk about the 2 most popular ways that people become software engineers and developers, and some of the difficulties that are associated with each path. College, where you can get a 4-year degree in computer science, is probably the safest option to a software engineering job right now. The issue with college, though, starts with the straight up dollar cost of 4 years of schooling. You also have to consider the time cost of 4 years of your life, where the majority of time will be spent as a student going to classes, doing homework, taking exams, and all that other fun stuff. The other option, of course, is to do a bootcamp. Technical bootcamps are becoming really popular alternatives to a traditional 4-year college, and more companies are acknowledging them as a credible way to get into the tech world. The downsides, though, include a large upfront cost usually, or a large percentage of your first paycheck. Also, most bootcamp programs are between 8 to 12 weeks of focused and intense learning. If you can't keep up with the curriculum, you could easily fall behind or get dropped from the program entirely. With that being said, here's my list of the 3 easiest ways to become a software engineer / developer. I would say that college is probably the 3rd easiest way. Despite the cost and the long time investments, there are plenty of opportunities given to students like internships, career fairs, and just being able to put on your resume that you have a CS degree. Even if you don't go to a popular tech school like Berkeley or MIT, you can still have access to different things that people in college just don't. I personally took this route, mostly because I didn't know about any other options when I was 18. I was able to do a few different internships during my time in college, so I had a resume filled with experience when I graduated. Even if I didn't do any internships, I could have went to a career fair or just gone to my school's computer science department and gotten some connections there. No matter how much less going to college is necessary for success nowadays, it still is pretty helpful. Next, I would say that going to a bootcamp is probably the 2nd easiest way to become a software engineer. This is mainly because non-traditional backgrounds are receiving a lot more attention and credibility nowadays. It wasn't too long ago that Google only hired people with PhDs, but now Google, as well as lots of other companies, recently removed their requirements of a 4-year degree. Or if they didn't remove it entirely, at least they expanded the range of different backgrounds people could have. If you have the funds to pay for the bootcamp and you have the drive and the motivation to finish it, this may work out better for you. I think this is easier than college because you'll likely pay less for a bootcamp and will definitely spend less time in the program, and you'll be learning a lot more job-ready skills. However, you'll have to bridge the gap yourself in all the foundational knowledge that you would have learned in college. Also, you'll likely be limited to front-end engineering roles, at least until all the back-end engineering bootcamps are more fleshed out and become popular. So if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video as that helps out my channel a ton. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, we're almost at 500 total subscribers, which is still so wild to me. Thanks again if you've already subbed, and I have a lot of cool things planned for the channel in the future. Now, what do I think is the easiest way to become a software engineer? The answer is a combination of self-learning and networking with people. And by self-learning, I mean using books, online tutorials, and practicing on your own to serve as an education. At this point in 2020, there's virtually an endless supply of information online about any topic, and that includes software engineering. I learned about iOS development entirely from tutorials on Udemy and YouTube, and that was back in 2014, which is decades basically in the tech world. Udemy courses in particular have hours upon hours of focused material and content and are almost always on sale for $10. Plus, there's courses for practically everything from front end to back end to mobile to security development. The selection is pretty much unparalleled. There's a good chance the money you spend on these courses and tutorials will be nowhere near the amount for any kind of schooling or bootcamp program. So after using a bunch of these tutorials and resources to gain knowledge, the next thing I would advise you to do is to practice and to build a bunch of different kinds of projects, whether that's a mobile app, a website, some kind of pet project involving robots, or whatever really you can learn on the internet. If you can build a bunch of these things online and find some way to create a portfolio for yourself, all you need then is that one foot in the door. And this, especially if you're an introvert, could be the hard part. I'm talking about the networking. This next step has you going out to any tech meetup, conference, or event in your area where there's hopefully other employed software engineers. If you can manage to make a connection with one or two of them and they can give you a referral, that can go a long way in the professional world and twice for the tech world. Who you know can sometimes be even more important than what you know. I might do a video in the future over how big of a factor referrals were in my career, as opposed to just blindly applying to online applications that you don't know if somebody will see. When you can get a human connection that pushes your resume forward to a recruiter, that can go so far. I mean, of course, you still have to pass the interview and have a decent enough resume to even get looks at in the first place. But all you really need is for one person, one company to take a chance on you. And once you're in the world, it's so much easier to keep advancing. You just need that initial first step. And that's why I feel like the easiest way to first get into the tech world is just self-learning and then networking. And you can apply this regardless of your background or your experience. If you're a college student or someone that graduated, networking in general is a valuable skill that stays with you your whole career. It can really make a difference in your life. It's not enough to just be good at something anymore. No matter how good of a rapper J. Cole is, there's no way he would have been as great as he is now if he didn't have the courage and the determination to go meet Jay-Z in person and stand in the rain so he can hand him his mixtape. So in conclusion, those are my top 3 easiest ways to get into software engineering. The large majority of people will be doing the first 2 things I mentioned, but if those things aren't a direct option for you, consider putting in that extra work and taking that third option. And if you can especially get good at the networking part, the world could really be yours. Once again, thank you for watching another video and tune in for the next one. Peace.